Guys, what is the point of the Scarab in Moon Knight? That's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here.
Hi.
And we're going to break down what we think the Scarab means for the overall season of Moon Knight. Now, Rob, really quick, we know we saw the Scarab a couple times in this episode. It was the main point of focus for Arthur Harrow.
Yeah.
He, clearly Marc Spector took it when we didn't see what was going on outside of Stephen's point of view, but he tries to give it back as Stephen Grant, and between Mark and Khonshu in his head, it wouldn't let him, which gave that funny, awkward scene of him trying to let it go. So what do you think this Scarab means for the remainder of Moon Knight?
I think it's a pretty necklace. No. All right, but seriously, though, I think the Scarab is a way for the gods' power to transfer to, like, their prophet or their vessel on Earth. Aside from, like, we know that Harrow wants it, and every bad guy, every villain wants more power to do what they want to do on Earth. If we look at just Marc Spector and Stephen Grant's point of view, nobody's really commenting that he looks like Moon Knight, right? But at the end, we see him in the full Moon Knight regalia. So I'm thinking the fact that he has the Scarab allows Khonshu to flow some of his power into Marc Spector to become the Moon Knight and do his kind of crazy Moon Knight stuff. So that's why I think it's like a way for them to get more power to do all these crazy cool things.
That's interesting. I think it's more so about unleashing power. So the Scarab is Amit, right? We even see in the wall of one of the museums, there's like a little hole. Like, was it originally there? Is that an original piece where it was taken out of by Arthur Harrow or his people?
Okay.
Is that a conduit that Arthur needs to somehow unleash Amit on the world? This judgment deity god, because every hint I've gotten about Arthur Harrow is that he has come to power post-snap. And I know that may be a little bit of a shock because this show does not hint at anything either MCU related, and I'm totally good with that. I hope it doesn't. But this would be an interesting kind of gateway that Arthur Harrow, like, post the snap, post this crazy revolutionary thing that changed the world forever. He goes into this deep personal religious thought, and this is how he has this power and conduit. Is the Scarab a conduit? Yes, but is it something that also shows you how to unleash this being that we've already seen the destructive powers in a small dose? And if it were to be unleashed on the world, is it some type of like 90s Mummy situation, right? A lot of the music in this show felt very 90s Mummy, which I was so happy about.
I like that idea. I think there's another angle here that, like, it does something for the user or for the particular god. I mean, it could be the same scenario, and then this Scarab would just help Khonshu summon himself into the real world. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like a bridge to this reality, and whoever uses it this item has significant power to be able to do that. So that might be a good situation here.
I think there's something to that with Khonshu too, because Khonshu obviously was very adamant about not letting the Scarab back in his hands, right? I think there's a section of this where it's, based on actual ancient god text. So the goddess Amit is this kind of half lion, beast, hippo-legged demon. It wasn't worshipped by the ancient Egyptians, but it was feared by them because it was kind of like the final judgment of your entire life.
They said he's like the boogeyman, right? He's like the first ever boogeyman.
It was the final judgment of if you're a good person, of your life kind of expectancy, if you're going to go to hell or not.
Yeah.
And people feared having to meet it in the afterlife. So the fact that this demon creature could be something real or something Khonshu himself fears against, because in ancient times, Khonshu was always trying to avoid that, right? Khonshu in those ancient times partially made the world as the moon god. So Khonshu could be like, hey, this happened before, right? We cannot let this happen again. Almost like an X-Men apocalypse scenario,
I like
right?
this. I like this
where
theory
he's
a lot.
Unleashed on the world, and it's like, it's already too late. Once it's unleashed, you have to stop it now. So I wonder if that's the other side of the coin that we're not seeing with Stephen Grant kind of, dopily wandering through the world with this thing, not knowing what's going on.
All right, Chris, you've convinced me. I think that is why the Scarab is important. I can't think of any other reason that this Scarab could have more significance. Do you have any other little kooky, crazy theory before we sign off for the ladies and gentlemen at home?
I will say I definitely do. I do have one more.
All right, what is it?
The other scenario I'm thinking is, could this Scarab be a map?
Like a treasure map?
Is it a map in the way that we see in Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
A little bit of Indiana Jones. There's going to be some type of archaeological hunt, right? Marc Spector himself is an archaeological mercenary hunter kind of thing. Is this kind of a map? And what I keep thinking about is this little Scarab, right? It's this gold little piece. It's not a necklace.
Yeah.
It's not a bracelet or anything.
You think it's like just a key to something?
I think it's a key in the sense of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you remember when Indy
go ahead.
drops down into the underneath sector in the middle of Egypt, and he has that artifact that he puts on the staff, and it shows him the way to get to the Ark of the Covenant. What if the Scarab has a similar effect to that? What if it's either it has to go back into the wall where it was missing at a certain time of night when the moon is full.
I like this.
There's a lunar something going on.
Sure.
And the museum will, like, we've kind of seen the museum of night and day, right? The museum lights up and it shows, kind of connects this map of where Moon Knight needs to go to either stop what's happening or know where it goes to unleash what's happening.
I like it because it ties directly to your other theory of like unleashing something. And it's like, all right, this is just not necessarily unleashing. It's more specific. It's like, all right, it shows you the map, right? It's like, here, you got to go to each of these conduit points in the world, which makes sense, especially for ancient Egypt. And you have to do something there or unlock the locks that are there. So that way the evil boogeyman, the god Amet, comes out and like takes over the world and makes everything right again. And it's like Moon Knight's like, no, you got to stop this guy. Or it could be like, you go to that thing and then you can choose which god you want to summon, maybe. I don't know. Well, guys, you heard our thoughts and theories of why we think the Scarab is important in Moon Knight. We want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What is your kooky, wild, crazy theory on why everybody wants a Scarab?
And guys, thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications. We need your help. Tell people to like, tell people to subscribe. Keep going every day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't miss any of our Moon Knight coverage, as we're going to be here every week talking about it. If you missed anything, it's right here on the channel for you at all times. And as always, my name is Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we'll see you next time.